Hello, and welcome to GTNH New Horizons. This is a Minecraft mod pack focused on automation and increasingly complex goals. The pack ultimately culminates in the crafting of the Stargate. The pack is split into 15 major segments. Early game will see the player going through the Stone Age and Steam Age. After that, the game starts its energy tiers. But we are getting ahead of ourselves here. This video will focus on the Stone Age of the pack. You will notice that a large portion of this video doesn't have game audio. This is because I am an idiot, and I recorded everything on one track, which makes editing around it very hard. This will unfortunately be a common trend throughout the first few episodes, as I've recorded everything on one audio source, and I didn't think to check it. I'm gonna die here, aren't I? Yeah, I'm screwed. As you can see, we were off to an amazing start. The beginning would go on to be like this a lot. However, after digging myself out of a hole, I was finally able to get on with some early game progression. And massive smash cut. We are now several thousand blocks away. This village would become the main base of operations for a long time to come. Now that I had a base of operation, it was time to start completing some quests. The early game quests of the Stone Age are a lot of gathering quests. These quests guide you in your first multi-block goal, the coke oven. This multi-block is capable of turning logs directly into charcoal. Charcoal will be your first real fuel source in the run. The first major problem you will run into in the Stone Age is undoubtedly food. GTNH New Horizons has a mechanic that causes food to become less nutritious over time. You can negate this by simply eating different food items. This, however, means you will need a lot more variety in what you can grow and eat. Luckily, we have Pam's Harvest Craft. Pam's Harvest Craft is a mod that adds insane amounts of variety to what you can grow. Collecting all the different Pam's Harvest Craft food items should be a priority in any playthrough. GTNH New Horizons has another food mechanic. The more unique foods you eat, the more hearts you will slowly gain over time. If you choose to really grind out this feature, you can potentially have several rows of HP by the end of the Stone Age. Food variety in the Stone Age can be a major problem. Introducing berries. These berries from the Natura mod have very little in the ways of saturation. However, they can be eaten very quickly, and there are 4 main varieties that you can find in the overworld. These berries are also extremely easy to farm. The plants grow up to be 3 blocks tall. These berries can be eaten quickly, and due to their varieties, can be an excellent food source to use as a buffer in between more nutritious but more scarce food items. Because of these berries' ability to grow up to 3 blocks tall, they make an extraordinary early game wall. You can place them around the perimeter of your base and light up the inside, and you have a very secure and safe place to live. After this point, I'm going to skip past most of the farming. Just know that it is happening in the background. In New Horizons, the best vanilla tools you can create are wood. In order to create better tools, you need the Tinker's Workstations. Although I had crafted them at this point, I wouldn't create tools with them for quite some time. Animals are another important part of the Stone Age. While I wrangle up these sheep and cows, I would like to take this time to talk about why I love this pack. This is my second playthrough of GTNH New Horizons. My first playthrough ended abruptly when my world save corrupted. Unfortunately, it was unrecoverable. And believe me, I tried. However, because of that failure, I got an opportunity to start a new run with all of the knowledge I had gotten from my previous. This, of course, means that this playthrough completely skipped the long and somewhat difficult learning curve of the mod pack. The thing that I love about the pack is that every playthrough will look different for everybody. Even on someone's second or third or even fourth run, it will look completely different. This mod pack really has something for everyone. Anyway, with that out of the way, I lied. Kind of. Earlier I mentioned that it would be a while before I made Tinker's tools. However, for you it's only been about a minute. However, I was partially telling the truth, because this clip was recorded several hours later. With these new Tinker's tools acquired, it is time for the main activity of the Stone Age. However, going back to that whole "I'm an idiot" problem, I realized I can't mine it with my current tools. I would need an iron pickaxe to mine iron. Flint won't cut it. You may be thinking, how do you get an iron pickaxe if you can't mine the iron to make the pickaxe? The answer is simple. The quest book has a quest reward that gives you an iron pickaxe head. Using the Tinker's tools, you can attach the head to your pickaxe. Unfortunately, to claim that reward, you need to make the coke oven first. You should do this anyway. However, I forgot that it was necessary. To make the coke oven, you need copious amounts of sand and clay. Luckily, I had already collected the amount of clay that I had needed. The next material to collect was sand, so I paid a visit to the local beaches. Let's hope nobody had a party planned. NEI Autocrafting is one of the newest additions to the early game of the pack. It streamlines many of the micro crafting tasks and turns large crafting recipes in the early game into simple endeavors. I will be using it copiously throughout the playthrough. While I smelt these coke oven bricks, it is time to be introduced to one of GTNH New Horizons' most infamous features. Infernal mobs are mobs that spawn with various potion effects and abilities that can easily put you in the forever box. I'll let this clip play out and let it speak for itself. Oh my! What was that? Face me, Zeus! Face me! You! If you're wondering what just happened, this would be a prime example of infernal mobs. This was an invisible gravel creeper who could strike lightning. The reason I had hesitated was because at first I had thought the sheep was infernal. I don't know why I thought that, but it caused me to hesitate. Time to get more sheep. With new sheep collected, I could now construct the coke oven. This is a multi-block that turns logs into charcoal with a byproduct of creosote. Creosote is useful because you can burn it in a furnace as fuel. It's not as good as lava or coal, but it is a free byproduct. Now that we had access to the iron pickaxe head, I put it right to work mining iron. Iron is the first thing you should mine with it, because if you have no iron, you cannot repair it if it breaks. After going mining, I took the time to give the animals a proper place to be. Among the challenges of Stone Age is the lack of water. Water in GTNH New Horizons is not infinite. There's a multi-block you can craft that fixes this. The Railcraft Water Tank. Its construction requires the use of rubber, which is obtained from Industrial Craft 2 rubber trees. You can obtain the rubber from them either by breaking the tree or by crafting a tree tap and letting the rubber slowly seep out of the logs to be collected by the tree tap. The water barrel is a slow multi-block that gets faster depending on how humid your biome is. My biome is a 60% humidity. This means that the water tank will create 6 liters of water every action. This is more than enough to enter the steam age. Bronze is an alloy between copper and tin. We will need copious amounts of both if we wish to progress. A major part of the early game is constructing the Tinker's Smeltery. In the quest book, there are 2 options for this. You can either take the easy route and get it from a village, however, this yields no quest rewards. Or you can craft everything manually, which does yield quest rewards, but takes more time. However, you actually can get the quest rewards from the Tinker Smeltery in a village. The Tinker Smeltery in a village has just enough blocks to be able to craft all the requirements for the quest. If you break the bricks with a hammer, it drops seared bricks, which you can then use to craft all the components you need. You should craft a sleeping bag. It allows you to sleep through the night without setting your spawn point. This is great for traveling large distances. There are several structures all around the world that can give you early access to steel ingots. This is a very powerful tool in the early game, as it allows you to craft things like backpacks that would normally be gated until the Steam Age. One of the most important items of the early game of the pack is something I haven't talked about until now. The healing axe feeds you as you hold it. The quest you need to complete to obtain the healing axe in the early game requires 8 of every garden in the game and a whole selection of different meals. The final meal I was required to craft was the rainbow curry rice. This meal is very difficult to make. It requires lavender, which is a flower only found in rare biomes. It also requires coconut milk, which is made by coconuts, which are either found on trees in the wild or by trading with villagers. I traveled several thousand blocks to find this lavender biome. Earlier, I mentioned animals were important. It is less because of the meals you need to make, and more because they allow you to complete a quest which gives you an unbreakable tool. Give me that. I'm keeping this bit in because I think it's funny to watch me make the slowest bucket portal ever. This is sped up by 300%. Really pulled all my brain power here. You're gonna see me set up some lava to light the portal. It didn't work. I redid that and just cut it out. I get there in the end. The nether is required in the Stone Age to obtain burning blossoms. They are yet another component required for the rainbow curry. Every other meal is a breeze compared to the rainbow curry. It is the first major skill check of the game. I would then go on to spend a significant amount of time trading with the villagers that were already present in my village hoping that one of them would give me a coconut trade. None of them did. I would then return to the Nether in hopes of finding the Nether Gardens, also required for the healing axe. This trip did not go as well as the first. Oh gosh. Wonderful. You've got to be kidding me. I right-clicked. After that grand Nether adventure, I updated to the brand new 2.9 beta 1. And the very first thing I did was craft a vending machine. The vending machine is a truly amazing GUI. It even comes complete with an incredible music score by 9. I will let this clip speak for itself. Oh my word, they have music. However, with that out of the way, it was finally time to create the small coal boiler,
Nice.
officially cementing the playthrough in the Steam Age. Oh, that's cool. From there, I created the low-pressure steam alloy smelter. This machine would allow me to create bronze at a more efficient rate. As the sun sets over the Stone Age, the dawn breaks over the Steam Age. Hello, fine a little bit after the video here. I have never made a video like this before. A lot of voiceover, and I wasn't ready for how much that wear my voice out. This took a lot longer to make than I thought it would. If you liked the video, drop a like. If you didn't, don't. Hope to make more things like this. Anyway, have a great day.